The last words you speak before sleep are not harmless. They are not casual. They are not forgettable. They are instructions. They are commands delivered to the most powerful operating system you possess, your subconscious mind. And whether you realize it or not, that system works all night long, shaping what you will feel, how you will think, and what you will do tomorrow. Most people believe sleep is just rest for the body, but the truth is far deeper than that. Sleep is when the conscious guard drops and the subconscious takes full control. It is the most impressionable, programmable, and influential state your mind enters every single day. And yet most people enter that state unconsciously, emotionally exhausted, mentally scattered, spiritually disconnected, carrying the noise of the day straight into the core of their identity. Think about it. What do most people do before they sleep? They scroll through chaos. They replay arguments. They count failures. They worry about tomorrow. They judge themselves for what they didn't do. They relive stress, disappointment, pressure, fear, and then they close their eyes and wonder why they wake up heavy, why motivation feels weak, why confidence feels distant, why clarity feels foggy. Your mind does not shut off at night. It goes to work. And what you feed it before sleep determines what it works on. The subconscious does not reason. It does not analyze. It does not question. It records. It accepts. It obeys. It builds, and it builds based on the emotional material you give it last. This is why the final impression of the day becomes the foundation of the next one. You are never more suggestible than right before you fall asleep. You are never more vulnerable to belief than in those final moments of awareness. You are never more powerful to rewire your identity than in that silent space between waking and dreaming. That is where the real transformation happens. Not in the crowd, not in the noise, not in the hype, but in the quiet authority of your own voice speaking into the deepest part of you. 3 lines, just 3, yet strong enough to reorganize your nervous system, strong enough to shift your identity, strong enough to rewrite the internal story that has been running your life. Why 3? Because 3 creates rhythm. 3 creates memory. 3 creates emotional anchor. 3 is enough to bypass resistance and sink into belief. 1 line to declare who you are. 1 line to command where you are going. 1 line to lock in what you believe is possible. Most people talk to themselves all day unconsciously. They say, I am tired, I am stressed, I am behind, I am unlucky, I am not enough. And the subconscious accepts these statements as truth because repetition with emotion becomes law inside the mind. And then people wonder why their life keeps matching those words. Your life always follows your internal language. Before sleep, your logical mind is quiet. Your emotional mind is open. Your identity is impressionable. And whatever you say with certainty in that moment goes straight into the blueprint of your behavior. You are not whispering. You are programming. When you speak before sleep, the body listens. When the body listens, the nervous system adapts. When the nervous system adapts, your reactions shift. When your reactions shift, your results change. This is not motivation. This is mechanics. Sleep is not just rest. Sleep is rehearsal. The mind rehearses emotionally what you last impressed upon it. If you fall asleep in fear, the mind rehearses fear. If you fall asleep in doubt, the mind rehearses doubt. If you fall asleep in confidence, the mind rehearses confidence. If you fall asleep in certainty, the mind rehearses certainty. The body learns in pictures and emotion, not in logic. So when you speak your 3 lines with feeling, with ownership, with authority, your subconscious begins to construct a matching reality. You wake up with different energy, not because the world changed, but because your internal chemistry reorganized. This is why 2 people can sleep 8 hours and wake up completely different. One wakes up heavy and resistant. The other wakes up driven and alert. The difference is not the mattress. It is the mental state carried into sleep. The subconscious is like fertile soil. The last seeds you plant before darkness determine what grows by morning. Most people plant weeds without realizing it. Your job is to plant direction. 3 lines does not mean random affirmations. It means identity, direction, and belief in one synchronized declaration. When you say, I am becoming stronger every day, your subconscious searches for evidence. Your behavior begins to align. Your posture shifts. Your tone changes. Your decisions sharpen. When you say, I am disciplined and consistent, the mind begins to filter actions that support that story. When you say, I create my future with focus and courage, your nervous system begins to tolerate discomfort differently. This is how identity is built, not through one emotional breakthrough, but through nightly reinforcement. Most people try to change their life during the day and then undo the change at night. They hype themselves in the morning and sabotage themselves in the dark. You must reverse that pattern. The night is the forge. The day is the battlefield. Whatever you forge at night, you fight with during the day. If you forge doubt, you fight with hesitation. If you forge strength, you fight with certainty. If you forge fear, you fight with avoidance. If you forge belief, you fight with momentum. This is why 3 lines before sleep is not a habit, it is a weapon. You are not tired because life is too hard. You are tired because your subconscious is carrying the wrong instructions. Your nervous system moves in the direction of your dominant beliefs. Your dominant beliefs come from repeated emotional language. And the most powerful repetition happens at night. The subconscious does not understand tomorrow. It only understands now repeated. So when you speak in the present tense with emotional certainty, you collapse time inside your nervous system. You begin preparing for a future before it physically arrives. And preparation is power. You will start noticing small shifts. Your reaction time improves. Your confidence stabilizes. Your hesitation shortens. Your discipline strengthens. Your self-trust deepens. Not because you forced it, but because your internal narrative changed. The strongest people in the world are not the ones with the loudest voices. They are the ones with the strongest inner dialogue. And that dialogue is shaped most deeply before sleep. The greatest battles of your life are not fought in public. They are fought in the quiet moments when no one is watching, when you decide what story to tell yourself, when you decide what meaning to attach to your struggle, when you decide whether tonight you speak weakness or strength into your mind. Most people allow the day to decide their mindset. Powerful people decide their mindset regardless of the day. This is what separates leaders from followers, creators from reactors, the disciplined from the distracted. 3 lines before sleep is not about pretending everything is perfect. It is about choosing who you will be while things are imperfect. Because confidence is not the absence of fear. It is the refusal to let fear define your identity. And identity is shaped in repetition. And repetition is strongest in the moments right before sleep. The subconscious does not respond to what you want. It responds to what you claim. If you say, I am trying, it builds hesitation. If you say, I am learning, it builds momentum. If you say, I am becoming, it builds adaptability. If you say, I am powerful, it builds certainty. You are always speaking to yourself. The only question is whether you are doing it by design or by default. Before sleep is when design becomes easiest. The mind is quiet. The heart is open. The body is receptive. You are standing at the doorway between conscious effort and subconscious execution. And whatever you choose in that doorway passes through your entire system. Your beliefs are not just thoughts. They are survival instructions. They tell your nervous system what to prepare for, what to expect, what to tolerate, what to resist. So when you speak 3 lines before sleep, you are not repeating words. You are issuing survival commands to your own biology. You are telling your body what future to gear up for. This is why people who master their pre-sleep state master their emotional consistency. They are not perfect. They are trained. They do not let the worst moment of the day write the script for the next one. They take the pen back at night. And when you do this long enough, something extraordinary happens. Your self-image starts to shift. Your standards rise. Your comfort zone begins to feel smaller than your potential. And that discomfort becomes a signal of growth instead of a warning to retreat. You begin to trust yourself again. Not because life is easy, but because your inner voice is no longer your enemy. Most people are not limited by resources. They are limited by the story they repeat in the dark. Before sleep, you are closest to truth. No performance, no audience, no pretending. Just you and the voice that shapes your life. And the moment you take control of that voice, you stop being a victim of circumstance and start becoming the author of direction. Tomorrow is already listening to what you say tonight.